is the next big thing for Malaysia legal practice? I think with the pandemic, I think what we can see that is growing is actually
What do general public view about lawyers in Malaysia? Good reputation?
it's a mixed feelings about whether the lawyers in Malaysia are actually respected. It depends on area of practice. If you're litigators, generally are actually respected more, basically lawyers who actually go to court. But for conveyancing lawyers, basically doing property matters are less respected because that is something they deem as something that is mundane, that is actually very procedural. You don't need a lot of expertise as well as experience to do that. Whereas for litigations, there are a lot of cases that are actually happening in Malaysia. The experienced litigation lawyers are pretty respected in Malaysia, and then they command quite good fees as well as basically respect from the public.
What are the main qualities you look for when you hire trainees or junior lawyers?
So I think most important, I think we don't know the candidate. The most important, we actually look at the certificates and the qualification and the grade. If the grades are good, then we will actually grant them an interview. And during the interview, what we are looking for, whether we actually engage a lawyer, it depends on whether they have the right attitude, whether they actually have the willingness to learn as well as to grow with the firm. That's very important to us.
Do you set any billing target on associates? What about other firms in KL generally?
Billing targets. Generally, we are quite easy on the junior lawyers because we understand that it's not easy for junior associates to have billing targets. What we usually do for the first 3 years of practice in Malaysia, the partners will actually feed the lawyers with work. Until they are probably a senior lawyer, then probably they need to look out for jobs for themselves. That will be probably usually the case for our firm. But I'm not sure about other firms because I'm sure some firms basically as a notional like a account keeping thing, they do actually give target to all the junior lawyers as well.
Tell us a bit about your firm.
About our firm, I'm actually attached to Chooi and Company in Cheang and Ariff. We are actually one of the top 10 firms in Kuala Lumpur. We have about
30
partners. I think in terms of associates, about
51,
so altogether it's about
81
earners. We are actually a full practice firm. We actually have litigation, conveyancing, as well as real estate, as well as banking and finance. So generally, we call ourselves a full service firm. So we have actually lawyers practice in different areas and have different expertise.
What's your view of Hong Kong lawyers? How do you compare them with Malaysian and Singaporean lawyers?
I do actually know quite a few Hong Kong lawyers. Generally, the impression that I get from Hong Kong lawyers are they're hardworking, they're very dynamic, they are willing to work hard, to work the extra miles for clients.
What are the next big things for Malaysia legal practice?
What is the next big thing for Malaysia legal practice? I think with the pandemic, I think what we can see that is growing is actually e-payment. So the government is actually encouraging a lot more people to apply for e-payment, to use e-payment. So I think the next growth will be fintech and e-payment in Malaysia. So generally, we can see a lot of VCs are actually investing into fintech companies to encourage the growth and the fintech for Malaysia as well as expansion to the ASEAN region as well.